Sports Professor Rick Horrow, welcome to Beyond the Scoreboard, the show that goes way beyond the trillion-dollar business of sports. Final Four, Masters, Major League Baseball opening, prelude to the World Cup. Huge things happening in domestic and foreign soccer/football, NFL, football, and more. We got to get started. There are a whole bunch of stuff that's going on. If you want to take a look at a very crowded top 15 issues in sports, 5 philanthropic, 5 tech, at Rick Horrow, NBCWashington.com. Take a look at the app. Subscribe to us on Apple, Google Play, Audio Boom, Stitcher, iTunes, and everywhere that amazing content is offered and sold, because we got it. And we're going to start with soccer this week. You'd think we'd start with other sports, but soccer internationally is big, heading into the World Cup for women and more. MLS launched its 2019 Soccer for All campaign, showcasing its commitment to end discrimination as well as the collective effort taking place across the league to drive social change and foster more inclusive communities via the MLS Works platform. The league's Soccer for All public service announcement features a diverse group of players from all 24 clubs, and it includes fans for the first time looking to further reinforce the message that all are welcome. The PSA, by the way, produced in English, French, and Spanish, will be promoted across league partner broadcasts, MLS digital channels, and in stadium. The broader Soccer for All celebration begins May 22nd, and MLS has long been considered America's most progressive and diverse pro sports league. FIFA take note, though, messaging about ending discrimination and driving social change on the eve of Women's World Cup, particularly poignant in light of recent allegations of pay discrepancies and subpar playing conditions. All needs a World Cup platform to be worked out. And speaking of World Cup platform, big deals happening not only in Qatar as they're prepared for their 2022 showcase. By the way, investment opportunities creating upwards of $10 billion for U.S. companies just from the 2022 World Cup alone. Top exporter of LNG, liquefied natural gas, with annual sales totaling an estimated $180 billion. Obviously, ExxonMobil, ConocoPhillips, Boeing, other companies involved there. Partner of the U.S. all over, donating $100 million to humanitarian relief for Katrina and $30 million for Harvey. The other issue, which is really important from a perspective of getting to know the country between now and 2022, is that they're looking at opportunities to use the event in 2022 as a legacy. 88% of their population are expatriates, expats. They want to also develop a legacy that gives them the ability to put together a whole host of other events. For example, they are putting together a series of facilities as well, but they're looking at taking those facilities after the event and sending them around the world to disadvantaged countries that could use them. But rather than me explaining that, we had Fatima Al-Nuami, who is the communications director of the Qatar Legacy Foundation. They were front and center at an event called Kick It with Qatar, with the state of Qatar opening the MLS season at Audi Field, along with the U.S. Soccer Festival and others. DC United front and center on that. She has a lot to tell us about the country, the World Cup plans, and the legacy. Here she is. Rick Horrow here on opening weekend for MLS at Audi Field. DC United begins the MLS season and their championship run, and we have a special event on the day before. It is an event called Kick It for Qatar, but it's really the relationship with the Qatar embassy and the country, highlighting the idea that in just 3 years, the World Cup coming to Qatar, and United States will play a significant role, as will the rest of the world, in preparations and excitement as well. Fatima Al-Nuami with the World Cup Qatar 2022 committee, the Supreme Committee for Delivery and Legacy. I'm not sure I got all the words right, but I think I got them all out. Thank you. How are you?
Good. Thank you for hosting me.
Absolutely. So tell me first how the preparations are going for the 2022 World Cup in Qatar.
The preparation actually is on schedule. We're having 2 stadiums will be launching this year, and 2 stadiums will be completing this year. So all the stadium will be ready by 2020.
And I'm sure everybody is excited about having so many stadiums and so much infrastructure investment in a country that many people don't know about. I guess some part of the benefit of Qatar putting on these games is to show the world what the country is all about as well.
Well, for us, when we bid for the World Cup, it's not only about the, let's say, we promised to deliver a world-class sporting facilities, but we're actually looking beyond the legacy of this hosting this tournament when it comes to social, human, economical development. So, and we started, these different programs and when it comes, or different initiatives when it comes to these social and human development.
So get a little more specific, if you would, about the whole aspect of legacy. There are a lot of major events, World Cups, Olympics, that promise the legacy and are short on delivering that. You obviously are very committed to having these facilities be the beginning and not the end. Talk a little bit about that.
Yeah, just to, like you said, Doha is small in size, and we don't need all of these different the big facilities. So we have, for example, one of the facilities that will be fully demountable. It's designed to be sustainable through shipping containers, and this is one of the legacy that we're trying to do. Every stadium, have a capacity of around 40,000 or 80,000 seats. And post the tournament, we will be demount all of these stadiums.
Where are they going?
They will be donated to a country that lack of sporting infrastructure.
Do you see this as it's an ingenious and novel way to build facilities? I've been in the facility business for a number of years in America, and you can't move them. And it costs $1 billion. $1 billion here is not easy anywhere. But the idea of portable, demountable facilities is something that hasn't been focused on. And if it's successful, I'm sure it will create a legacy in and of itself.
Yes, this is what we have learned from previous tournaments. Looking at the example of Brazil and different countries, I think this is one, and our commitment to sport, which goes beyond our country and for the region and the rest of the world.
The bid surprised a lot of people. We're past all of that. The United States thought they would get it. A lot of people think they get bids. But the beauty of the World Cup as an institution is that beyond yours, and then you've got another one, and in a not too distant future, the U.S. and Canada and Mexico have a joint World Cup as well. So it's an opportunity to continue the momentum that will then bring the World Cup back to the United States 4 years later. I assume that's an important part of the legacy that you all will have that will then be given to the next country or host countries as they do the World Cup.
Yeah, I think what we share in the vision, the same as the bid with the U.S. We're hosting these events with the ultimate vision to bring people together, to bridging countries, and actually just to ensure also there is a legacy left beyond. And one of the legacies that we are hoping actually also to achieve, to bridge the gap, because a lot of people, to change the misconception or perception. A lot of people hear about maybe Qatar in the region, but now with the World Cup, there is more reasons they can know about rather than conflict.
Tell me also why you're here today. What is the relationship between Qatar and the MLS and DC United? Why is this relationship important?
Football development, utilizing the power of football to drive social change. Through the embassy and the partnership that they have with the DC scores.
Yeah.
Like you see today, everybody and the communities and the engagement that they're having and the activations. This is, what's more important for us. And we do have, different programs when it comes to Generation Amazing, where we use, the football as a tool. And we do, operate in a lot of different countries. We have India, Nepal, Pakistan. So we're always trying to focus on how we can engage the communities and using the football, as a tool. And today, going around the stadium, seeing, these families, and it was really actually successful activations.
Yeah, and not just an activation from a marketing perspective, but also to do social good, the power of sports. If you have resources and you know that you have the ability to influence the growth and development of football over the next few years. It sounds like it's a wise investment of dollars to do it all over the world if you can possibly find the right recipients for that.
Yes, and this is what we trying to look for in this partnership. In every country, like here through US and DC Soccer's, we share the same vision and values and how we want to utilize sports. So this is the type of partnerships we're looking for to grow, the grassroots football within the communities.
The grassroots football is really important. You'd have done it anyway. Obviously, Nepal and India, good examples. The fact that the World Cup after Qatar follows the U.S. and then Canada and Mexico makes it even easier, I assume, because there is an automatic connection as well.
Yes, and this is, I think, we will be seeing more of these collaborations in the future.
You having fun?
Yes.
Yeah. You enjoy it?
Yeah. Seeing the communities there and the kids, actually, I like these type of events.
It's going to even get better. Fatima, thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
I'm pleased again. So let me get it right. It is the Supreme Committee for Delivery and Legacy. She just prefers the World Cup Qatar 2022. Whatever it is, it's a big deal. Thank you very much. Really interesting perspective. They say their sovereign wealth fund manages about $335 billion, clearly, oil money and otherwise, and plans to invest $45 billion in the U.S. in the next 3 years. So it is something to watch, independent of the 2022 World Cup, how DC United and others will get out ahead of that relationship and help bridge the gap between the U.S. national team now, 2022 in Qatar, 2026 North America, U.S., Canada, Mexico, hosting the World Cup then. It's a great plan. See how it works. Yeah, now let's get the Final Four. Let's get to college sports at the eve of Minneapolis. Sunday this week obviously saw Michigan State, Texas Tech, Auburn, and Virginia packing their bags. Duke packs their bags, but they head back to Durham. The NCAA basketball tournament definitely been popular with viewers. According to Nielsen, the NCAA tournament and with CBS and the Turner family, its fifth best audience since '91, when the event expanded to its current TV format. The four networks averaging 9.1 million viewers, up 6% from 8.5 million last year. And the streaming includes 9.5 million, up 7% last year, second best since '91. And since each of the top four conferences has a representative in the Final Four, expect those regional interest numbers to be even higher than it has been in years. By the way, we all have brackets. They're all busted. Big business. This year's ESPN's Men's Tournament Challenge collected more than 17 million completed brackets. One man who likely delighted, Warren Buffett. For several years, Buffett, a master of market odds, has been so certain a perfect Sweet 16 bracket was statistically impossible that he pledged $1 million for life to any of his several 100,000 employees who could log one. Keep your money. Head of the Final Four, brands continue to utilize broadcasters as endorsers. Before the Sweet 16, Sports Business Daily took a look at which broadcasters are appearing in ads. Charles Barkley, Candace Parker broken onto the scene. AT&T, the one brand that has often put NCAA broadcasters in its March Madness sports. Their Just OK campaign, which I'm going to shoot myself in the head if I see that one more time, but that's just me. Shaquille O'Neal, Kenny Smith, Reggie Miller have been in. My favorite, by the way, you can't beat Barkley's Chuxedo, his bright blue uniform in ads for Capital One, mirroring a cameo by fellow sports guy Jim on his way to the Big Nance. Not bad. For every bad ad, there's a good ad, and that's why people continue to watch these commercials. College sports, not just on the court. United Airlines offers to retreat from the L.A. naming deal at the Coliseum. They put together a $69 million deal to add a corporate name. Some say it's disrespectful to the facility's history of honoring troops who fought and died in World War I. And the LA Times said the airline made an offer to USC, announcing the agreement for the naming rights last year as part of its $270 million renovation of the venue. United Airlines California President Janet Lamkin said in a letter to USC the company made a significant commitment to financing the project in exchange for the naming rights, careful to keep the words Memorial Coliseum to honor the memory of veterans. However, Supervisor Janice Hahn, president of the Coliseum Commission, soundly criticized the new name, saying that other options are possible. And with the vast majority of Coliseum renovations already completed, though, it's likely that United, USC, and the city will work quickly to figure out what to do, including maybe United Airlines Field at the LA Memorial Coliseum. We'll have to see. That chapter isn't finished, but just a reminder that college sports is big, but it transcends the basketball court. How about baseball? Opening day came and gone, and the gate viewership was strong, yet MLB's average salary on track to drop for an unprecedented second straight season. The 872 players on rosters and injured lists averaged $4.36 million, down from $4.41 million last year and $4.45 million the year before. Highest paid players, Max Scherzer, $37.4 Arizona Diamondbacks Zach Greinke, $32.4 million. The Red Sox, like last year, set to lead the major leagues in payroll. Cubs, Yankees next. And having the league's highest payroll paid off for the Red Sox last year. And months from now, we'll know if another World Series is in the players' well-compensated grasp. We'll have to see. Opening night this Thursday for minor league baseball and their 40-plus million fans. Numerous ballparks will have modernized experiences via smart displays on social media, enabled by ISM Connect's technology and the Allegiant Airline Network. Through its work with ISM Connect, minor league baseball introducing new technology to create a more exciting social experience at 25 ballparks on opening night, 31 by the end of 2019. Smart displays located across select stadiums broadcast exclusive content for both teams and sponsors, giving fans a unique view into the players and teams they root for. In addition to the smart displays, ISM connecting teams and their fans through mobile devices and social media while they're at the ballpark. And the social channels reach a national audience of minor league baseball fans and allow stadiums and advertisers to hold exclusive giveaways, share announcements from all teams on the network, and give followers an exclusive look into the world of minor league baseball. Good for them, big-time opener, not just in major leagues, but minor leagues this week. And the first full weekend of real baseball concludes, and the next week of real baseball starts. Nielsen research broken down fans of Major League Baseball as the league celebrates its 150th year. 170 million fans in the U.S., 10 million in Canada. 2.5 million people average fan base. The highest percentages of fans in the local market population: St. Louis, Kansas City, Cleveland, Houston, Pittsburgh. On TV, the most visible sponsorship real estate appears on camera behind home plate as the batter is willing and ready to swing. But interestingly, the outfield actually gets more exposure via social media because big plays like home runs and acrobatic fence line catches often make the highlight reels. I'd like to thank Tanner Simpkins, Dan Martin, for helping put the show together. And we'd like to thank you all for listening and watching. Hope your brackets aren't completely busted. Enjoy March Madness this week, and join us next week when we go Beyond the Scoreboard.